All right, good Wednesday afternoon. Hope everyone is having a nice day so far. Maybe enjoying their lunch.
Yeah, and hopefully it's indoors too, because
Yes.
it is a brutally hot one out there again for today. Now, just showing you that satellite and radar, we got some storms and some showers already starting to develop farther out to our east, but they're hanging out right along that state line right now. So the majority of us dry and just feeling the heat,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Yeah.
Definitely no way to make this in a good situation because
Yeah.
we're in the dog days of summer. That's what we've been saying the last few days. We're used to it here, but still you need to remember those heat safety tips.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got some high pressure systems, one out to our west, farther down to our southwest as well. And then you can see in the northern Gulf area, there are some storms developing, and hopefully this is going to drive up our rain chances.
Yeah.
It won't be too high when it comes to today, but we are going to see them keep on going up as we go throughout the rest of this work week.
Right, and that's really what we can hope will cool us down later on this work week, and that's what the forecast is showing now. But again, things could change between now and then as far as rain chances go, so we're going to watch the tropics closely and watch the Gulf. But for temperatures today, the big story is that heat and unfortunately the humidity. So it feels more like 113 in Rolling Fork. Sure, our temperatures are in the 90s, but this is the biggest story. It feels like 107 in Carthage, 109 in Durant, 110 in Hazelhurst, 112 in Vicksburg. So notice everyone is dealing with dangerously hot conditions. So that's why our highest heat alert has been issued.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we're going to just keep on rising when it comes to those temperatures today. We're expecting mid to upper 90s. And for here in the metro area, we're expecting to get a little bit warmer. As you can see, it has Yazoo City only at 109, but obviously they already surpassed that and completely went right around that. So take a look, like Gracie said, extreme heat warnings and advisories in effect. There's only about 4 of our counties under those heat advisories: Atala, Leake, farther out to our west or southeast, and Wayne and Perry as well. But regardless, you're still going to feel it.
Yeah, it's going to be in place till 8 p.m., and that's because we don't see the sun go down till about 8:04. So that is when things start to feel a little bit better. But I was outside at 8:30, 9 o'clock last night, and it was still so uncomfortable, the humidity.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to be outside, I would not recommend it. But again, just a friendly reminder, those heat safety tips: staying hydrated, drinking the right fluids, and of course, wearing the right clothing. And the biggest one, look before you lock.
Oh yeah, for sure. Of course, those cars can really just heat up real quick out there. And I know a lot of people work outside, so just make sure to follow those heat safety tips, because heat sickness is never fun. It's not fun to deal with. Now, the nice thing, however, for this week is rain chances are going to start to rise up. And that's going to be the one thing that's giving us that relief. So when it comes to today, unfortunately, a mainly dry one, just hot and humid. But for our Thursday, scattered storms. Same case scenario for our Friday and Saturday, a few more, but not as widespread. I think Friday is where we'll see the most widespread rain affect the area. But by the time we get to our Sunday, we're mainly dry again. We're going to just see that heat start to return. So tracking it out, we got those storms developing farther out to our east. And once we go into the early evening hours, we could see a few more really starting to develop. But unfortunately, you can see it's farther down to our south and southeast. So areas in central, farther out west, unfortunately, this really looks like it's just going to be a hot and humid one out there for you.
Yeah, we have had some model discrepancies here. So as far as how much rain we're expecting, there is some differing opinions when we go between models. But overall, we know it's going to be fairly dry because that high pressure is still in control for our region. Today, notice that north wind is, I think, going to keep some of those storms as well to our south and east. And tomorrow, we're going to see that chance of rain going up a bit, but notice we're not seeing widespread rain, so a lot of us still miss out on the rain Thursday, which is going to mean the heat and the humidity is still our big story. So we may have another heat advisory issued. I don't think we'll get to an extreme heat warning, but we'll be watching. Again, the National Weather Service will make that call tomorrow. Regardless, it's still going to be really hot today, and then later on in the work week, that's when our coverage of rain picks up even more. That's going to be Friday. We're expecting better coverage of rain.
Yeah, we'll be starting off with those showers farther down to our southeast as well for your Friday morning. So the Pine Belt already going to be feeling a little bit of that relief, and a few more clouds rolling in as well. But yeah, like Gracie's saying, once we get to the afternoon, just better coverage overall of those scattered storms rolling in. Those will keep affecting us into the evening hours as well. Then, of course, we'll start to wrap up with that rain in the overnight hours, but by the time you're waking up on your Saturday again, you can see more storms developing farther down to our south, and those will start to push into our area again and just give us that relief. Thank goodness. I know I've been really hoping that would come our way.
That tropical moisture hopefully is going to fuel some better coverage of rain, and again, hoping that that hits a lot of us, because right now some of those showers and storms, especially Thursday afternoon, are few and far between. But the better coverage our rain is, the better our temperatures will start to feel. And of course, like you said, we can all hope for that.
Yeah, exactly. Now taking a look at total amount of rainfall, really no surprise. Farther down to our south, where we got closer to that low pressure system in the Gulf, you're going to have better rain chances. So 1 to 2 is definitely going to be possible, and some isolated areas, depending on how strong of a storm you get, you could see up to 3 inches of rain.
Yeah.
It just really depends on how they develop out there. Now, the farther north you look, less. Half an inch to an inch is
Right.
what we're expecting, just because you're going farther away from that tropical moisture. Now, take a look. The reason we're getting it is it's kind of deja vu. Exactly what
is.
happened last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Invest 93L that took a similar path, and now we have another system that could develop at only a 10% chance
Yeah,
for the next
it's
2 to
really
7
messy
days.
right now. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about this. I think the biggest story is going to be pretty much exactly what happened last week, but less coverage of rain. I'm not expecting the flooding concerns across coastal Louisiana or Mississippi, but like Roberto said, along the coast, that's where we're going to see some of our higher rainfall totals, just because that area of low pressure, of course, is closer to the Gulf, but it is going to bring us that tropical moisture. So
Yeah.
we're going to watch it. Still, though, a 10% chance, whereas last week the National Hurricane Center was a little bit more confident as it kind of organized, and so at one point we even had a medium chance of development. So we're not too worried about it. We are going to keep watching it, and it's going to be on our radar.
Yeah, and most of the things that's showing right now for the long-term output of this system here, it's going to keep drifting its way west. So if anything really does develop, it gets to tropical storm status, it'll be mostly likely going into that coastline for the Texas region so far. So really, just for us, the tropical moisture, scattered storms, and that's what we can expect out of this. Now, just a reminder, peak hurricane season, not here yet.
No.
We're still very low right now as we're wrapping up the month of July. You can see the peak is in September 10th. So
We have a whole month to go.
yeah, we still got to get through August.
Yeah.
So we'll be, of course, tracking these systems as we keep on progressing throughout the rest of this summer. And, of course, as we get closer to that peak hurricane season, just a reminder to everybody out there, because I know some people think it starts a little bit earlier. It doesn't. These are when we're really just seeing like maybe more tropical systems.
Some tropical waves coming off the coast of Africa, developing in the central Atlantic, and that's exactly what has happened. But most of those have been very weak and kind of fall apart before they turn into anything. We haven't even had our fourth named storm.
Yeah.
Dexter is the one that we are going to be getting a name for next. So we're going to watch it, but don't by any means think that hurricane season is over or it's just too quiet, because again, we see most of our activity during the second week of September. That's our peak time.
Oh yeah, we got time, people. So of course, the storm team's on top of it anyway. So we'll keep on tracking those systems. So just to recap your 8-day forecast for today, just a 20% chance farther down to our southern counties and down to the Pine Belt as well. You're gonna have a little bit better of rain chances when it comes to today, just with those storms developing. But you can see as we keep on progressing throughout this week, as rain chances increase.
Yep.
Gives us a little momentarily relief.
Yeah.
Luckily, we're going to be actually just closer to our average and not above. But
Unfortunately, we have to say, yeah, it's going to give us relief, but we're still in the low 90s, so don't let that fool you. It's by no means going to be a cold front bringing in cooler temperatures. We're just going to see the rain cooling us down close to seasonal. So Saturday and Sunday, you can expect those low to mid 90s, that chance of rain, especially Friday and Saturday. I think that'll be our best coverage for rain, so that'll keep our temperatures the lowest, but then right back up we go. 94 on Sunday, 96 on Monday, and of course that's when chances of rain go down. So we're looking at that low 20% chance of those pop-up showers and storms next week, and unfortunately more very hot days in the forecast. We may have to see more advisories and warnings issued when it comes to the danger seat.
Yep, just that unfortunate summertime pattern, people. And I know we're used to the heat, but of course, we always remind people, we sound like a broken record,
Yeah.
but just make sure you're just being safe out there, because, heat exhaustion,
Right.
anything like that, not fun to deal with. So,
Right.
hope everybody has a good rest of your Wednesday, hump day, and just try to beat the heat out there.
Yeah, stay cool.
All right, thank you.